They call it the Bridge of Stars, a span of light and air strung between worlds, appearing only once every 100 years, then vanishing into the folds of the sky. The songs say it is not made of stone or wood, but of memory itself, woven from the dreams of those who dare to cross it, and the shadows they try to leave behind. I never thought I'd set foot upon it. I grew up hearing tales told by firelight, how lovers who crossed together would either emerge hand in hand or not at all. How the bridge had no patience for doubt. How it could look into your heart and decide if you were worthy. But when the plague came to our homeland and the healers whispered that the only cure lay in their shattered realms, there was no choice. And I would never send Rhyden alone. We found it just before midnight. The twin moons stood high and bright, their silver light spilling across the horizon. The sky above was a river of stars, and out of that river arched the bridge, shimmering, swaying, a dream half born into the waking world. I stopped at the edge. "It's beautiful," I whispered.
"And treacherous,"
Rhyden added, stepping beside me. His green cloak shifted in the wind, his long hair brushing his cheek.
"Stories say it tests you before it lets you pass."
I met his gaze. "And if it decides we fail?" He gave a small smile, the kind he reserved for moments when the odds were against us.
"Then we teach it what failure means."
For a moment, I said nothing. I watched the strands of starlight stretch away into the dark and felt the weight of all the things I couldn't say. The fear of losing him, the knowledge that if one of us stumbled, the other might not survive. He reached for my hand.
"Whatever it shows us," Serenya, "remember, nothing is stronger than us."
I smiled faintly. "You sound certain."
"I am. But if you start to doubt..."
His thumb brushed across my fingers.
"I remind you."
We stepped forward together. The moment our boots touched the strands of starlight, the air seemed to fold in on itself. Every sound grew sharper, yet somehow more distant. Beneath our feet, the stars pulsed softly, as though keeping time with our heartbeats. At first, it was beautiful. We walked surrounded by constellations, their glow lighting our faces. But then, the edges of the path darkened, and the bridge began to whisper. It showed me visions. At first, little things. Rhyden turning his gaze away when I spoke, his touch cooling like fading embers. Then, worse. I saw him walking into the mist, his voice cold as he said,
"Serenya, it was never meant to be."
I saw him lying in battle, too far for me to reach. His eyes closing as he gasped my name. The whispers grew louder.
"He will leave you, you will fail. Your
dropped my sword. But what good was steel against words that struck straight at the heart? Then I heard him, faint but real.
Serenya, don't listen to it.
Through the haze, I saw him. Rhyden was fighting something I could not see, his blade swinging against shadows. I called, "I am here," but the wind stole the sound. I began to run, each step heavier than the last. The bridge seemed to stretch longer the closer I came, as though it didn't want me to reach him. A dark shape formed beside me, a perfect copy of Rhyden, but with eyes like ice.
Why chase a man who will only break your heart?
It hissed. I ignored it. The real Rhyden was ahead, and I could see the strain in his movements. "Rhyden," I shouted again. His head jerked toward me.
Serenya, don't let it take you.
I reached him, at last. Without hesitation, I dropped my sword and took his face in my hands. "This is not you," I said firmly. "This is not us." He searched my eyes, his breath ragged.
It told me you'd turn away, that you'd see who I really am, and leave.
"I've seen who you are," I whispered. "That's why I stay." Something broke in his expression, and light flared beneath us. The shadows burned away like smoke in sunlight. He pulled me into his arms, holding me so tightly I felt the beat of his heart.
I almost lost you.
He murmured. "You never will," I told him. "Not to magic, not to lies, not to anything." We walked the rest of the way in silence, though every so often his thumb brushed over my knuckles, as if to reassure himself I was still there. When we stepped off the bridge, the first light of morning touched the horizon. We stopped just beyond its end, the stars fading behind us. I sank down onto the grass, exhausted. Rhyden crouched beside me, searching my face.
You are pale.
"I'll be fine," I said softly. "It just took more than I expected." He set down his sword and sat beside me, close enough that our shoulders touched. For a long moment we simply breathed together. Finally, I turned to him. "Were you ever afraid we wouldn't make it?" His answer came without hesitation.
No.
I gave him a skeptical look. "Even when the bridge tried to tear us apart?"
Especially then.
He said with a slow smile.
Because if there's one thing I know, Serenya,
He cupped my cheek, his thumb tracing my skin.
it's that you are the one thing in this world I will never let go of.
And I believed him, because no trial, no fear, no illusion could break the bond between Serenya and Rhyden. Our love was a bridge, and it would never fall.